I got into solar because I was working for an engineering firm in Saudi Arabia in the 70s. And when I came back from Saudi Arabia, I said, this is not sustainable. That's probably not the word I used. That's a really popular word now, and it's really an important one. Because when I came back to America, I realized that this wasn't a business that I wanted to do. I wanted to get in the business of saving the planet. Now, however, solar has been a rocky road, and in the meantime, we have learned that solar is really just part of the mix. There are many other energy generating technologies that are important for us. The kind of hardware we used to install commonly was generating heat, and that would be heat for people's homes and hot water for businesses, swimming pools. In fact, that technology is really ripened and is mature now. But what we've seen now is that photovoltaics have come down in cost, and photovoltaics is the science of generating electricity. And electricity is so expensive to get in any other way because of not only the economic costs but the environmental costs. That photovoltaics are now something I never thought I'd see in my lifetime, available for everybody for any application that they want. Biggest challenge when we started out was, first of all, locating products that made sense. And without any track record or understanding, it was our job really to discover what was out there. And sometimes I think we were just lucky. We picked the right products and that those products did us well. But we're pretty conservative in how we choose what we represent and what we install. We don't manufacture. However, in the 70s, we actually did manufacture because the offerings were so limited. By the mid 80s, there was over 280 domestic manufacturers of solar products available to pick from. So we had a big job to understand what was good, what was bad, what worked, what didn't, we had to work our way through all the claims, and we had to understand whether or not this was a good fit for our customer base. Now, in today's world, the market has changed to the point where there are only a few domestic manufacturers of solar in the United States. And a lot of the competition in the photovoltaic field, the electric field, is coming from China simply because they have a government directing their programs. They understand the benefit of solar, and they have a vision. Well, we have a laissez-faire economy. And so the nice thing to see is that solar is doing quite well, even in a laissez-faire economy. But the manufacturing costs are very high, and we still have a lot more foreign manufacturers to pick from than we have domestic manufacturers. Well, actually, electric generation for homeowners and businesses wouldn't really be technically or economically feasible for the great number of our customers without net metering. Net metering was passed by the California legislature in the I think it was 1996, and it was done as an incentive to. It was done as a you can deregulate the utilities. The utilities can deregulate themselves as long as they provide net metering. Net metering is simply the way that people sell energy back to their utility. They generate power during the day. The utility buys it back from them at the same price they bought it. They bought the energy the last night. So it's not a good business model for the utilities. They can't generate power and buy it back at the same price they sell it. But it really makes the economics here work. As far as net metering's future is concerned, I think that it's already been written that only 5% of the customer base can go net metered. And if that doesn't change, then the solar electrical applications will really be left for people that want to power their electric vehicles, or they want to sell their electricity at a wholesale price. And if they sell their electricity at a wholesale price, it may be feasible because the price for solar has dropped to the point where that may be a good deal for everybody. It's hard to say the word sustainable and then ask for incentives. when we have a sustainable technology, it should be able to offer the benefits that people would expect without having an incentive applied. But this is an industry that will not come into its own at this point without some kind of support from the government. And what we've seen is, for instance, the solar industry go to the point now where over 100,000 people are employed in the state of California, whereas 10 years ago it wasn't. This couldn't have happened without some kind of incentive and support. And also what we've seen happen is because of that support, prices have come down. And we're at the point now where we really may not need incentives much longer. When the current incentives end for solar, we'll be faced with a market that's very well developed. The people accept solar as an alternative. Will the pricing be good enough? We don't know. But if the incentives are gone, the tax credits that are currently in place until the year 2015, that's a huge break for the buyer. The California rebates are almost all gone. They were scheduled not to be gone until 2016 also. But that's been so popular in California that the rebates have disappeared almost. They started out at $4.50 a watt. They're down to 20 cents a watt now. So we're really at a small percentage of, it's almost ridiculous the size of the rebates compared to what they used to be. I think that the challenge that we face, and the challenge that anybody in the solar business face, is to keep costs low enough so people can buy the solar and justify, rather than just being green and doing and employing locally and going sustainable. They're not only doing the good thing, but they're doing the right thing economically. And if we can get to the point where the tax credits are on the verge of going away, there'll be a huge rush of many people that want to buy solar before it's gone, and then the market will collapse. In my opinion, we need to reduce the support slowly and incrementally and predictably, as has the state of California with the rebates. Where the federal government reduces its support on December 31st, 2015, this industry will be in for a big, big shakeout. We have done commercial and industrial and residential applications, but because this is a business that has been ephemeral and there have been booms and busts, we have mostly concentrated on the small business and residential marketplace. We have done large projects. In fact, in Long Beach, we did the smallest system and the largest system. The largest system up to that point in history was with the California Community Pool, and the smallest system was done for my daughter's science fair project. But we haven't gone for the big bang. We're not a big union shop. This is a family-owned company, and we believe that we can really provide better service by keeping the operations close at hand. I think that if there are so many different levels, it's a business like anything else. There's engineering, there's marketing, there's product development, there's customer relations. And if anybody would want to get into solar back when I did, I had to spend 2 weeks in the library to read every book there was. And then there was nobody to give me advice. But the advice really is, it's just as any other business. If you can find a school that has a program that teaches you, you can become an installer. If you want to go to a business school, it's the same business environment we all live in. And so you can get a job with a solar company if you've got a business degree. If you want to become a marketing person, there's nothing more unusual about marketing solar or selling solar than any other product that's out there. And so, again, we have the internet as a huge resource. And it's not just a matter of tapping somebody on the shoulder and saying, can you help me? You can help yourself. If you know how to Google, you can get there pretty quickly. No, my favorite topic. We have the experience, we have the know-how, we're dedicated. We want to make sure that what we do works because we've discovered our best resource for future customers are the ones we're working with today.